All right, before we begin, let's give a big thanks to our sponsors. Like Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite pest and wildlife control. Also taking care of that insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services. A sponsor of Podcast and Pours 3, which is coming up Saturday, October 12th. Tannery Row, Beaufort, Georgia. Distinct Grace headlining will all be out there. Tickets available, thebaileyshow.com. Nick from Inspect All Pest Services will be out there too. So you can say hi, hello, and thank you.
Woo!
InspectAllServices.com. The Aurora Law Firm, need help, get help. Criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, and more. Based out of Georgia, but litigates all over the United States. That is the AuroraLawFirm.com. He is the Mad Dog. Hey, hey! Mad Dog Manny Aurora.
I feel like we should probably say Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Need help, get help. Dr. David Markwell. He's got 10 therapists in-house. 3 locations in Georgia. One across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains, East Cobb, Marietta, near the square in McKaysville, outside of Blue Ridge, but he can do virtual sessions. So if you are a listener anywhere in the world, he can contact you through your talkie box. Set it up, markwelltherapy.com, or email him directly, ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. FBC Insurance. I know probably right now a lot of you are going through some insurance stuff. If you have any questions, even want to reshop that policy, they drop you for whatever reason because of the storm, please reach out. 888-308-1841, or you can email them info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. You can get a quote online, fbcinsuranceservices.com. If you really, really need help and you need a direct personal contact, reach out to me and I'll help you out with that. You can shop over 35 A-rated companies, 5-star service. They're really good. We have 3 policies with them. Really good. Need a house, buying or selling a house, Florida and or Georgia.
I like to do that.
That guy, Rachel guy, my guy, your guy.
This guy.
404-797-4600 or IamRachelGuy@gmail.com. Here's another one. Going through the storm, and I told you beforehand, one of our newer sponsors, Alternate Power Solutions, family-owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer. Wait till you hear some of the episodes this week and what Chuck has got to tell you. So many people need generators. Can you imagine if you had a home generator?
So crazy.
From Alternate Power Solutions, or just a generator and deal, just in general. Offering sales, service, installation, repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. You get an upgraded warranty once you're a customer, free monitoring with a service contract. A lot of people are going, man, I wish I would have called Alternate Power Solutions right now.
It is still hurricane season. We got more coming.
Get $500 off your entire installation by using the discount code Bailey, 770-853-7571, or you go to poweringgeorgia.com. Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. JHM Land Solutions. This is another one. You got stuff all over your yard right now, your land, and you need it cleared out, whether it's grading, land clearing, mulching, trees down. JHM Land Solutions. All right? Servicing Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. There's no project too big, too small. Post-storm, JHM Land Solutions. I'm sure they're extremely busy right now. 770-274-9120. All right? Here's another one. Jayco Contracting, Cliff Bratcher, roofing specialist, gutter and roofing specialist. If you don't have a roof and you need a roof.
That's a thing right now.
It is a thing.
Like a real thing.
Right?
People don't have roofs. We drove past a lot of people that need him.
Licensed and insured roofing and gutter specialist covering all of Georgia. They are a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, the creator of Pink Panther, plus free gutter guards with the purchase of a roof. Satisfaction guaranteed, commercial and residential. Get hold of Cliff, 770-316-38. I'm sorry, 770-316-3876. That's 770-316-3876. If you want to be a sponsor of the podcast and or the radio version of the podcast, please, let's have a conversation. Reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. Remember, Podcast and Pours 3 coming up Saturday, October 12th. Tannery Row, Beaufort, Georgia. Get your tickets at thebaileyshow.com. And then we have Podcast and Pours 4 with Saliva and Distinct Grace in Orlando at Elixir. That's Saturday, December 14th. Get it while it's inexpensive.
Get it while you can. We're ready to party.
I don't know if those tier 2 tickets have sold out yet or not, but If so, they're $25. They're going to be either $20, $25 until it goes to the next tier. TheBaileyShow.com. All right, let's begin.
Go ahead and leave a comment about how you deal with your children leaving home while I recover.
Honey, I raised the kids.
Our kids leaving the nest is never easy. So in order to cope, Jason and Rachel have decided to share the journey of their kids, Caleb and Ariel, or Beez as most know her. Follow the story in this podcast.
Honey, I raised the kids.
All right, there it is, episode 26 of Honey, I Raised the Kids. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. There's my wife, Rachel Guy.
Hey, y'all.
Together we are RAEJAE.
May I like us as RAEJAE. We did a really good job as RAEJAE this weekend.
We did. We crushed. And this is a podcast about us becoming empty nesters. And it's funny because, and of course, this episode will be about the big Roll Tide weekend.
Yeah.
But there was, as I was posting a few things over the weekend, I didn't post a lot because I didn't get a signal.
Right. There were so many people. It was obscene.
There's just so many people at the game, the Georgia-Alabama game. But somebody had posted on one of my social medias, they said, you're going through a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. 110%. There were so many firsts just this weekend.
Yeah.
That I don't know about you, but I know me. It was overwhelming, and I'm not usually a person to be overwhelmed.
I know there was a first that I have a video of that happened that I think like you were in. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen that face on your face before.
You talking about the shotgun?
Yeah.
So let's go to the beginning first.
Okay.
Then we'll get to the shotgun.
Okay.
All right. Because there was an episode not that long ago that we had a conversation about behind my back, you and the other parents and the kids were talking about me and how I couldn't last throughout the whole tailgate.
Yeah, because you needed a nap.
Because I was going to need this nap.
Yeah.
And supposedly I was going to, do what I do and just sit in a chair and nap and no one's ever going to know it. And I'm like,
Beez wanted to make sure that you were good to go for the entire day because it's a long day and she wanted us there and like to be there for the whole process. And she just said to make sure that you had a chair so that you could do what you do.
right. You guys
Yeah.
behind my back, the
Yeah.
parents, the kids. Oh, Bailey can't do do the tailgate.
Can't hang.
He can't hang. He's going to need a nap. And I'm like, you guys don't even know what I'm capable of.
What happened?
With that being said, thank you for the chair, and the nap was much needed.
The nap was much needed. But I have to tell you, so these boys, so we had at the tailgate, it was us and some of Beez's roommates' parents and some of the other parents of the girls that she goes to school with. And so it's like 8 or 9 parents, and then like we had the tent with all of the kids. So there's like 4 or 5 different sorority houses worth of girls, and then the fraternity boys, and then the other boys that have come in, and then like Beez's boyfriend goes to Georgia, so we've got like some Georgia kids there, and there were so many kids at our tent. And like they just wanted to hang out, and it's cool. That's what we were there for. And the boys, okay, as this is happening, the games are on the TV, the girls are doing their thing and back and forth, and they're being girls. And then there's cornhole going on over next to us, and Jason Bailey is sitting in his chair with his sunglasses on, looking at the TV with his leg crossed, like one leg sitting up, and then a beer in hand, kind of sitting in between your legs, and you were dead asleep. And these boys were so impressed. Like, the girls were like, oh, he's asleep. It's fine. Just give him a few minutes and, leave him be. And the boys are like, no way he's asleep. Now so Jade and Kinsey were with us. So they're girls, like these girls know you when you're napping and the things that you need because, you know, they're from high school friends. So these boys that have never met you before are like, there's no, and they're up in your face. You had no idea that these kids are up in your face to see that your eyes are closed. You're legit sitting up and taking a nap like a beast.
Oh, I didn't know they were in my face. If I would have woke up.
No, you were not waking up.
But that's not what I said. I said
know.
if I would have woken up.
I know, but they were really impressed.
I would have probably knocked them out.
Yeah, it's all right. I think they probably would have taken one for the team for that because it was like they were in awe with your skill.
So we left early. Well, we didn't leave when we were going to leave. We were supposed to leave on Thursday, but that was when the hurricane hit. And like it was, you know, pun intended, the perfect storm because it was right in our path to go from Orlando to Tuscaloosa.
We're going to drive right through it.
Right. So we leave on Friday. So literally our trip was, you know, it's about a 9-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
So we're leaving, you know, Friday to tailgate Saturday to come back on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a long weekend with a lot of driving. So we go up and we see the devastation really, you know, obviously in the Panhandle and in South Georgia. I mean, it looked like a war zone. And the BS episodes this week, Chuck will talk more about it because he's been going out and in North Carolina. And, you know, he owns a tree service like JHM. And so some of the stories that he was telling me were just amazing. So we'll get to those stories, you know, this week on the episodes. But, you know, we drive through and we get there Friday, you know, early evening.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we get to Beez's condo and it's filled with people. You know, there's parents there. There are these boys there because she shares it with 3 other girls. Their boyfriends are there. Their boyfriends' friends are there. You know, and
there's a lot of kids.
And this is when we meet our daughter's boyfriend for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I call him Ginger Ale because he's got red hair. I got to tell you, I like the guy. You know,
he's a good kid.
Here's the thing about these boys when you meet them. They're all full of shit.
I don't know.
No.
They're all raised with really good manners.
They have good manners. It's today's version of Eddie Haskell. You know, when I was younger, you would say, oh, he's an Eddie Haskell. Meaning, you probably don't know what that means, do you?
I don't. I have no idea.
Eddie Haskell was a character on Leave It to Beaver.
Yep, no idea.
And he was the older brother's best friend, and he was always smoozing, you know, the mom and the dad, and they knew he was full of shit. And the sitcoms in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they all had that character.
Yeah.
They all had the friend that got in trouble, but the parents liked him because he lied and he put on this act.
I feel like it's different though because they're Southern raised, and so they're like born and bred to be polite to like everyone, and especially adults, but to everyone. And, you know, because I listened to him respond and like any of the girls would say something to him or like ask him to do something or whatever. And he'd say, yes, ma'am. You know, like, I think it's just like, that's the Southern polite manners that have been bred into these children.
Well, I'm not saying they don't have manners. Mm-hmm. I think they do have manners. Yeah. But there's bullshit that goes along with those manners. I do think that Ginger Ale is pretty legit. Yeah. You know, I think he marches to the beat of his own drummer.
Yeah.
And in a good way.
Yeah.
But these other kids that were there, you know, this one kid in particular.
I know you didn't like him.
Didn't like him.
I know.
You know, and call me overly conservative or old school, but I'm an adult. I'm a parent. I don't know you. So you don't sit there and you don't drop the F-bomb every other word, and you don't have conversations like I'm your boy.
So the difference is that boy, aside from the other boys, that boy is from Jersey. My cousins act the same way.
Well, I don't like it.
I know.
It's wrong.
It's geographically different. They were raised different. He's not Southern, like, at all.
He's supposed to do what the other boys do and lie to me.
No.
Yeah,
that is not a northern thing.
so I didn't like him. That was the only one I didn't like. The other kids were very, very nice.
He's the only one that wasn't northern, that wasn't southern.
Yeah, the girls were sweet. All the parents were great.
Yeah, the parents are awesome.
And I had some great conversations with some of these girls and boys when we were out there, and and you just kind of feel them out. You're like, what's your agenda? Why are you here? Who are you friends with? What are you trying to accomplish? There was one guy who knew me from the old radio show in Atlanta. He and his dad used to listen. He was like, I used to listen to you in high school. I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's been that long. So, he was a nice guy, but there were some question marks. Just kind of keep an eye on certain people and stuff. So anyway, everything's good. One of our daughter's roommates, her parents were the ones that had set up this tailgate. So we didn't have tickets to go to the game. Our daughter went into the game, which is crazy because I found out how much she paid for the ticket, and she was in the game for like an hour and a half.
No, she was there until right before halftime.
You stay the entire time. If you go to a game of that magnitude.
They oversold that student section. There were no seats, no nothing. They were packed in like sardines.
You can't defend that, Rachel. It doesn't matter. You paid that kind of money to go to that big of a game. Mm-hmm. It's like going to the Super Bowl. People pay $3,500 to sit in nosebleed seats at the Super Bowl. Yeah. They can't even see the game. They have to have binoculars.
Yeah.
But
she saw the game. Where she was, she sent a video. She had clear view. Like, she's got video of Trump in his little box.
So she went to tell people she went in, which I don't know, that one. Y'all do your thing. You guys are in a different world than I am with that stuff. But so she goes in for a minute, and then with her 3 friends, and then she comes out. But we're in this tailgate section, which is right by the stadium. I mean, you can hear the stadium and all that stuff. And Ariel's roommate's parents, just the nicest people in the world, and they got the spot, and and allowed us to be there. They had a TV set up. There was chairs, and there was, we all pitched in on food and alcohol and drinks.
They were the professionals we were learning this year, and
I love that girl's parents. Like, they
were so nice. They're teaching us the ropes.
They're just the nicest people.
They are.
Like, some of the nicest people I think I've ever met in my entire life in America. They're just good people.
Yeah.
And I enjoy hanging out with them. And even the guys that I met.
The other dads.
Oh, my God. They're so nice. They're so cool. They're like, the conversations are great.
They're intelligent.
They're not like, me, or I, or this is what I have, It's nothing like that. I mean, we just sit there and we talk about football and, and bullshit and life and all that kind of stuff. And, it's really, really good. I just really enjoyed their company.
She's in a good spot with some really good people, and she's like finding her, like, this, she's got a good group of girls and guys. Their group of kids, it's so many kids, but they're really, really good kids with good heads on their shoulders.
I will tell you that everyone that I talk to, even the kids, and when I say kids, I mean, we're talking college kids, but even the younger people, everyone wanted to talk politics. Every single one of them wanted to talk politics.
Well, you're in Alabama, first of all, but you're also Alabama when, former President Trump is showing up to the game and he's going to be there. I mean, you're like full on red in Trumper world. They absolutely want to talk about it because he's physically there.
No, I get it, but they could turn anything into politics where it was like, hey man, I got some Coronas over here. Do you want to get one? I love a Corona. Just as long as we get Trump back in office to build that wall to keep those Mexicans out of here. Like, where did that come from? I just offered you a beer, you know. Hey man, we got some Rice Krispie treats over here. I think one of them wasn't illegal. Those little Rice Krispie guys, pretty sure. Like, they would find anything. I mean, I found it funny. I find it humorous. Here's something really interesting though. So this game, as many of you probably watched on television, and just everybody at the stadium, just huge. I mean, and that was the half of it. I mean, there was not only the stadium filled, but where we were, still there were thousands of people in the designated tailgate area, people bringing their own DirecTV antennas. I mean, it was nuts. It was crazy.
So you book out a spot in the quad.
And then there were people that didn't make it in the stadium or to the designated tailgate area. They're tailgating on the side of the road in town.
It's sick. There's so many people.
All right. So that's how many people, there were just people all over Tuscaloosa, right? And there were tons of Trump signs, tons and tons of Trump signs. So in the tailgate area, people would set up. They'd put their Alabama or Georgia flag up, and they would also put their Trump flag up.
Yeah,
which
Trump flags and like cutouts, like full life-size human.
Right. Now, Trump was at the game. You know, he was with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
He was John Daly, I think, was with him. I think Hank Williams Jr. was with him. So, the whole crew was at the game. They came around, they being law enforcement and the tailgate police or whoever they were. Not law enforcement, it was the tailgate police, like students or something. They came around and made people take down their Trump signs because there's a rule that when you're tailgating, at least at the University of Alabama, you can't have any political affiliation, like you can't back whatever. And I'm sitting here going, you brought the man here. Like the people are jumping through fire because of security. You have a drone that's tethered to the ground that's about 150 feet above my head right now. There are helicopters swarming around us.
It was crazy.
There's armed security walking. You can tell the plainclothes, by if you watch certain people and when they would talk into their arms and stuff like that. So you didn't bring Kamala or Kamala,
whatever,
to the event. You brought Trump to the event, and you're not allowing people to have this. It just didn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was to me kind of silly.
They had him up anyway. Nobody cared.
No, I saw him take him. I saw people come around and make him take him down. That's why I brought it up.
Oh,
I was shocked. I was surprised.
Oh, well, when we were walking out, I didn't see anybody. Maybe it was just in the quad. They probably put him back up, I'm sure.
It was the guys next to us. Like, there were people next to us, and I was sitting there watching the guys, and I said, it was actually the people right next to us.
Yeah.
And I said, what, they make you take it down? He goes, yeah, you're not allowed to have it up. I go, but the guy's inside. Like, they brought the guy in town, and that's kind of silly. It's like, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of silly.
Well, I don't know.
I
don't know what the rules are.
I understand why you wouldn't want it up, but you can't bring that guy to the event and expect people not to be, excited for him. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I didn't hear that part of the conversation.
So
I was too busy watching your face. Watch your daughter.
Yeah, so we're
Shotgun.
We're under the tent. We're drinking. You know what? I think we got there about 1:30ish, and we stayed late into the evening, almost to the end of the game.
Yeah.
I must have had, and I'm not a big drinker. I'm definitely not a big day drinker. I'm not a beer drinker.
You're throwing them back.
I think I had almost a 12-pack.
Yeah. You were crushing them.
Yeah, I
didn't say anything.
Well, there was nothing to say.
No.
But I didn't get...
Here, have another.
I didn't get drunk at all. I didn't even get tipsy. Which was crazy.
That's a problem.
I killed my Blue Moons and I killed my Coronas.
Yeah.
And I was just going through them. And I was like, Jesus. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating the food. I'm getting fat. I'm watching TV. I'm watching my UCF Knights lose to Colorado, which scratched my soul. Having good conversation, and everyone was so nice, so polite, so cool. Even, we have Alabama stuff on, obviously, for our daughter. Even the Georgia people, way nice, very cool, all that kind of stuff.
Everybody was good.
Everybody was, just really, really nice. So before we left her condo, these kids are drinking. They're drinking 10 o'clock in the morning. That's cool. Like the boys, not our daughter wasn't. The girls started having mimosas.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever seen my underage daughter
Pop a bottle of champagne
and drink.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was strategy or not. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say it was. That if she didn't make a big deal about it, it wasn't a big deal.
I don't know. She offered you she offered you one also. She popped a bottle of champagne, made mimosas, and said, Jason, would you like one?
No. What I mean by not making it a big deal, like knowing that this is the first time.
Yeah.
Like I would be uncomfortable. Like
She's just kind of chill.
If I were her.
Yeah.
And my mother was there and I was underage, I would feel uncomfortable, and I would probably.
Were you uncomfortable like when you were in college and like your mom brought over pictures of you? Literally, you were the same age as her at a like fraternity party or whatever. I have a picture of you and you have a name tag that is on your shirt that says, "Hello, my name is Mr. Sausage."
Yeah.
And you have a drink in your hand, and then there's the girl that's standing with you has
Debbie.
like freaking Debbie has an ice house or something in her hand, or a Bush Light, or I don't know, some shit beer, and like you're literally the same age, like the same mirrored timeline as what your daughter's doing.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I was 22.
So you were a senior?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at UCF. When you got to remember, I transferred to UCF. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
So you weren't doing any of that before then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're talking about that picture. No.
Yeah, I mean, you look young.
I might have been 21, but I was at least 21 in that picture.
Oh, okay.
And that was a Sigma Chi function. It was Italian wedding. It's a big Sigma Chi thing. It's called Italian wedding.
All right, Mr. Sausage.
And you got to pick like a goofy, like Mr. Meatball, Mrs. Meatball, that kind of thing. It's kind of goofy, but that's not the point. The point is I expected her to come over or go to you and have you talk to me and say, hey, is it okay if I can drink?
I don't think that would have been a conversation because everyone, I mean, like literally all of the kids at the tailgate.
I understand that, but
with all of the parents.
I understand that, but she's still underage.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I did. It's a double standard, as a parent.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you wouldn't want your child to get knocked up when you got knocked up, right? It's a double standard.
Yeah.
They exist. They're real.
Sure.
Okay. So, one, she's underage.
Yeah.
And two, I've never seen her drink before.
Oh.
So, I've barely even heard her use profanity.
Yeah.
And so I was shocked that there wasn't a conversation, but back to the original part of this, the start of this, I think this was a strategy. I think
could have been probably,
and it was
so it wasn't weird.
It was a good strategy
because nobody else's parents were being weird.
It's not being weird.
It was weird.
No, it's.
She's in college. What would we expect her to be doing?
It's not weird. You're part of that generation too of not being respectful. It's about being respectful.
You were doing all of these things when you were in college, and this was like decades ago. I don't understand what.
Again, it's not about what I did in college. It's a double standard when you're a parent. You don't want your kid to get knocked up at 15, and if they did.
It wasn't 15, but okay.
Or 16, it's a double standard. There's a double standard when it comes to parenting. Okay. It just exists. There's not one parent out there that hasn't told their kid to not do something that they probably did 10 times worse.
I feel like you're really angry right now.
Well, you're making it seem like I'm the bad guy, like I'm crazy.
Not at all.
Because I'm not going along with the crew and what everybody's doing. So because I don't feel the same way as they felt, that I'm the oddball. I'm the making it weird, as you put it. I would be making it weird.
Well, it would have been weird if we had to have a full-blown conversation when all of the other parents that are there with all of the kids and everybody is all participating, but we have to hold on and sit down and have a conversation about it first. That would be kind of...
That's why you would do it beforehand.
Okay.
That's why I was waiting for it. I didn't know how this was going to play out.
Yeah, I probably feel very different about that because
obviously.
I had to have those conversations when life things happen. Like when I got pregnant with Caleb and I was 16, I had to sit down, very uncomfortable. I remember, and I am traumatized, of sitting down at my grandmother's kitchen table with my grandfather and my grandmother, Caleb's father, and both of my parents. And that conversation, burned in my brain for the rest of my life.
Well, I don't think it's that kind of conversation. It's just hey, are you going to be okay with this?
Oh.
Just that kind of conversation. Like, I was expecting that because when I got there, I got to be honest with you, I was a little taken off. I was a little shocked when I walked in and the guys were acting like adults weren't there. And it was, sitting there, they're drinking, they're playing Madden, they're F-bomb this, F-bomb this. They're telling some stories about when they went out, showing videos of getting beat up and fighting. And, and it's cool, but there's a way I think that you ease yourself into that conversation with an adult.
Yeah, I mean, there's a different level of your level and thought of the way that relationship should be with parents and all is very, very different than what the relationship, Beez tells me everything. And we it's a different kind of relationship. It's not a, you're adult, I'm a child, and that is what it is. It's it's just a different level of a relationship than what I guess you're used to with, say, your parents.
Well, I don't buy into the parents kid. There needs to be some type of disciplinary figure in there. I don't we're buddies and everything's cool. I've never bought into that. I don't agree with that at all. There's nothing wrong with being friends with your kid, but there has to be a line that's not crossed. And then there has to be some type of fear or respect or admiration. I don't know what the word is. There's an adult and there's a child. You're not on the same playing field.
No.
And when you're friends with the kid, you're on the same playing field. And that's how I felt when we went there with all these kids, is that we were all friends.
You're going to be the one that's not invited back to the tailgate.
That's fine. I don't need to go back. That's fine.
Why?
I'm
Why
good.
do you have to be a fun ruiner?
I'm good not driving 18 hours. I mean, that's totally fine with me.
You're such a fun ruiner.
I'm totally fine with that. And then we get there and Friday night, and I'm like, okay, we're here. And she's like, well, I'm going to a birthday party. See you later. I'm like, okay. Why did we come in? What if we would have come a day early? That would have been a real waste of time.
No, it would not have been a real waste of time. You're butthurt right now. She totally, because what she's going to remember is we showed up and we were there and we had a good time. I thought we had a good time.
Okay, we had a great time.
Okay.
But I'll remember that when she comes home and she's only here for a couple of days, I'm going to go to the poker room.
Oh, you're being a friggin' baby right now.
This is the parent-child different conversation versus friend. This is the, if I'm in college and my mother were coming to visit me and we're going to a game, I'm going to skip the birthday party. I'm going to go later and I'm going to do dinner with my mother, knowing that I can still go out at 10 o'clock. And she's not going to want to go out at 10 o'clock. I'm still going to spend time with my mother, because she took the time to come and visit me at college. And I did do that in college. When my mother would come and visit me, she got to see me play football, I think, once in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I'd wait, go out to eat, and then go to the party afterwards. But we got there and it was like, bye. We hung out at the condo, and then we did that. And then we were at the tailgate, and, that's fine. The tailgate's a social thing. She's doing her friend thing, and she goes in to watch the game for a minute, and totally get all that stuff. But it was like, hey, we're leaving now. We left a little bit early before the game ended because we didn't think the game was going to end like that. And so it was like, I was under the impression that because it was still early enough, we could go get a bite to eat. And
What? We literally just sat at the tailgate and ate all day. We should have stayed till the end so we could watch all of the game and everything, because that's like the point of why we were there, for everything.
Oh, that's on me because we left early?
I mean, it's fine.
Okay. Well, a lot of people left early.
Yeah, it's okay.
And we had to beat traffic.
Yeah.
And I was done with it. But we should have left early. I mean, we should have stayed till the end of the game, but paying $400 to go into the game and leaving after a quarter and a half is okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you, because if we stayed, then she came out of the game for the rest of the tailgate, and then we left early.
We were there, and she was going to do her thing.
Well,
because I asked her.
While she was in the game.
No, afterwards, I asked her if she wanted to go and do something.
What?
When she came out of the game, and we were at the tent,
yeah,
and we were leaving, I said, "Do you want to go? You want to come with us?"
She wanted to stay and finish watching the game at the tailgate.
Right, and they had plans afterwards, which they didn't do.
Yeah, they didn't go anywhere afterwards.
But she said that they had plans. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So
no, but we knew that they were going to go out after this. Well, they were supposed to go out after, but we knew that ahead of time.
Right, and that's cool. You should. I mean, that's Party Town USA. I mean, after especially the big win, you should go. But anyway, I would have done things if it were me. I would have done things differently. It was fun. The tailgate was great. It was cool. But I personally, there were a lot of things that happened over the weekend that I just personally have and would have done differently when I was in college and I was that age, So that's just my 2 cents. But obviously, I'm an idiot. I don't know. Because I'm the disciplinary, crazy, conservative, old school, old man. But but all the other parents were kind of, they were cool with that shit too. They was like, all right, see you later, that kind of thing. But they're up there every weekend.
But they're not up there every weekend, but they're friends. We're new to it, so we're making friends with them. Like, they're like, okay, the kids go and do their things, and then the parents hang out. Like, that's like their friends.
Right.
Yeah. We're new to the friend group, so we're like learning and like introducing ourselves and all that.
Well,
kind
the
of
friend
stuff.
people didn't ask us to do anything.
No, because we're new, we're learning, we're like being introduced into that. Like, if we had stayed, Brandy and Jason would have been like, "Hey, let's go do whatever," but we didn't stay.
Because we didn't stay.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say we need to stay so we can do whatever?
Well, because you were ready to go.
Oh.
I didn't argue with you.
That was good. That's tricky. It's my bad that we left early. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry. Next time we will stay till the end of the end of the end. I think we left like the middle of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the middle of the third quarter. It got crazy in the fourth. I'm actually glad because the thing is like the TV in the tent was delayed.
Yeah.
So there was the tent next to us that had a projection that was 2 seconds in front of us. Mm-hmm. There was one tent like 4 over that was 4 seconds behind us.
Yeah.
Then there were people up like adjacent to us that were like 10 seconds in front of us. So
you need to be in charge of Wi-Fi next year is what I hear.
No. I had no idea how that whole thing, how they set it up. I think he was using a hotspot, but it was like you would hear, yeah. You're like, what are you screaming about? And we're watching a commercial about, erectile dysfunction.
You're like trying to figure out which side is yelling.
Yeah, you have no idea. So you're kind of looking around. And then by the time you figure it out, you look in front of you and you see it, but everybody's already celebrated it. So I was glad that we left and we went and watched it in real time.
Dude, that kid, the new kid that is like 17, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's badass.
Yeah, he's so good.
Can you imagine being 17 years old?
And being that good.
And now being able to make that money with the NIL rules, which I think will ruin college football.
Yeah.
And the NFL, by the way.
Okay.
And he gets to, just make, he's got, there's no way he doesn't already have millions of dollars in his pocket. Because he could possibly be, if he's that good at 17, when he,
as long as he keeps his head on right,
when he becomes, gets in that weight program at Alabama, and puts some muscle on,
he's gonna be a beast.
He could arguably go down as one of the best wide receivers of all time. 17 years old.
Good.
Did you see the move? First of all, it's a clutch situation in arguably one of the biggest regular season, if not biggest regular season games of all time, right? That's how, I know that these two teams will see each other again and maybe two other times later down just because of how the college football playoffs work. And so I get that. But I'm talking about they've never played in the regular season, blah, 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 the rivalry. I think they should have waited until the end of the year, kind of like what they do, the Auburn, Alabama, Michigan State, or Ohio State, Michigan, those kind of games. Should have waited till the end of the year, not the beginning of the year. But anyway, this kid, clutch, crunch time, 17 years old, catches that ball in that kind of traffic, and then does the
little ballerina moves,
Scooby-Doo, between the two Georgia defenders, and then beats a third one, I believe, in for the touchdown for the game.
Yeah, he was
at 17 years old.
Good.
You have to imagine when he's lined up and he knows what the play is going to be, and he knows that he's probably going to be the first look for Milroe in the progression. That's a lot of pressure. You have an entire legacy, a history of people depending on you. That's crazy. I know I'm blowing this up to, this really deep, big thing, but it's amazing that kid exists.
He's a 17-year-old kid. He just wants to play ball.
It's absolutely amazing that kid exists.
That's why he's so good.
So, I know you're going, well, are you guys ever going to get back to the shotgun thing? What are you talking about? So this was what I was talking about before is, I'm still in shock, right? We're at the condo. We're at the University of Alabama. We're at our daughter's condo. The kids are all drinking. They're all underage. It's cool. I get it. It's college. This is just as the dad the first time that I'm seeing this.
I know. She was trying. You needed to be eased into it because.
Well, I wasn't eased into it because then we get out to the tailgate and the first thing that they all do is, by the way, improperly, start shotgunning not just beers, but Trulies, which is sacrilegious.
Yeah, but they don't want the carbs. They're girls.
And then they had the balls to go, oh, are we doing this right? And
her roommate needed some help, but you know what? She's allowed to ask you for help. You want to know why? Because she's now officially one of our children because she lost both of her parents.
Oh, that wasn't, it was
her.
Oh, was it her?
Yep.
Oh.
She's the one that asked you for help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you helped her.
Yeah, which
you did.
I'll talk about that on the BS podcast this week because we'll talk about how to shotgun beers. Not that I'm Mr. Shotgun Beers, but I do believe that I'm right in my theory on, if memory serves, I haven't done one in a while, but if memory serves, I do believe I'm correct.
They really wanted you to do one with them.
I couldn't do it.
And I have to tell you that I don't know, I'm not really sure how I feel about it because out of all of the girls that were doing it together, there was like a whole group of them. Our daughter was done first and crunched her can and threw it on the ground.
It was a Truly.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
She still did. I don't know.
Do you know how bad I wanted to shotgun a beer with our daughter and her college friends?
Did you want to?
So bad.
Why didn't you do it?
So bad.
Then would have been the time.
Yeah, because they asked
if
me to do
all
it.
of you dads had done it and shown the girls how to do it properly. I mean, like those are the kinds of things. These are teaching moments.
I felt like I would have been the worst parent in the world if I would have shotgunned a beer with my underage daughter.
Because they're in college.
And this is the first time that I've ever seen her drink, and I'm sitting there shotgunning beers with her. I would have been like...
I mean, yeah, at least you got to learn her. Learn her right.
I would have felt horrible. I just would have felt horrible.
Well, maybe next time.
And on top of that, I don't know if I would have finished before her.
She was kind of a beast. That is true. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the weekend. Very stressful weekend. Very, very stressful.
It was a little intense. I know it was a little intense for you. So it was very...
Staying home.
It was good. You're not staying home next time. No, you're not.
Staying home.
Next time, you're going to learn the girls how to shotgun beers.
In 2 years.
No.
I can't do it.
In a couple weeks.
I just can't do it.
Why?
I don't know why I can't. Because if, God forbid, something happens to them and alcohol has something to do with it, even though I know it's not going to be my fault,
no,
I'm going to feel responsible somehow.
Because you taught her how to properly shotgun a beer? I mean, if anything, you're saving her.
No, it's not.
By doing it properly.
No. You know what? I was trying to find the time to pull ginger ale aside and have a little conversation with him.
Yeah.
Because I need to talk with him.
Okay. What are you going to tell him?
Oh, by the way, here's what's going to happen. You're not going to believe this, but here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And this is going to happen soon.
Oh, no.
Remember when, this was weeks ago, maybe even when we first started this, or when she first went to college, I told you, you know what's coming? Well, first off, here's another thing that when I'm right, no one tells me because they know I love to be right. Mm-hmm. And they know that I'm right most of the time.
You're an ass and you're like, I told you so.
Well, it's because it's not just that I told you so. It's more, why didn't you listen to me? Okay. Hi, Henry. Little Hen's in the back. And so I said when Beez moved into this condo,
yes,
that she wouldn't be there after a year.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, no, we're going to be here for the 3-4 more years. And you were like, oh yeah, this is so good. Everybody was on the same page.
It's a really good location.
So I knew she wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
I knew it.
You did. Yeah.
And I said
you
that.
Called it.
And I said that.
You did.
Nobody said, yeah, I remember when you were right, but that's okay.
No, but Beez did. She just didn't say it to you.
So here's the next thing is I said to you some weeks ago, and it's going to start next month or in November.
Okay.
This Thanksgiving, she's not going to be here for the entire Thanksgiving break.
Yes, she is. Yeah. You are incorrect on this one. You are incorrect, and I know you are.
Okay.
Absolutely incorrect.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You know what's going to happen, though, right? She's going to want to bring him with her.
Yep. And that's not going to fly with his parents, so they're going to have to do 2 Thanksgivings. And she's going to have to go there after us. She's going to put us as a priority because she knows that it wouldn't fly. He's the boy. He'll probably be able to get away with it, right? And I'm assuming he's a little bit older, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
And maybe Thanksgiving's not a big deal at the house. She's going to bring him here for Thanksgiving. Okay. She's going to ask.
Okay.
And then she's going to, because it's going to make sense, well, we'll just go back there because he has to see his parents and I can see my friends before I go back to school. It makes sense because it does make sense.
It does make sense. You're right.
Oh, I'm right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the first time we're having this conversation.
No, you just told me, oh, no, she's coming. No, she's coming.
No, she'll be with us for the holiday.
For the holiday. But after the holiday, singular, she's out of here.
No. She's going to be with us. She wants to be home. You want to know why? Henry was just sitting in the window. Right there.
And 2 days, 3 days, maybe. She's not going to be here for the entire holiday. I'm telling you.
Okay. I hear you.
There is going to be, I would say 3 days. She'll leave 3 days early and drive to Atlanta to this boy's parents. And then she can see her friends.
We'll see. All right.
You know, deep down inside that I'm right.
Oh, yeah,
And I
part
said,
of it,
and I
part of
said,
it,
and
but
I
I
said
don't-
this a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
But you think that she's going to be with us for a day.
No, it didn't.
And
No,
that's not
she
how it
will
is.
be if she's. What does she get? Like a week off of school?
I'm not sure. I have to look.
Okay.
Probably.
Thanksgiving's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. So either maybe she'll hit us on the back end and she'll do his place first. What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. She will not be in this house for the entire time that she has off for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I'm willing to make a wager.
All right. What are we wagering?
If I lose, I will wear Speedos for you.
What? What? Don't I get to pick?
No, yeah, I was just giving you an option.
What are my options? Do I have a couple options?
No, that was the only thing I could think of. I thought it was
I mean,
sexy.
I do like Speedos. Let's do it. But can I have a couple options though? Can you like think about it so it could be a couple of different things?
No,
I'd
I mean,
like to choose.
I'll take your car to get it washed.
Oh, I can do that myself.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not going to do it I'm not gonna.
I can reenact the scene from Titanic wearing a French maid outfit.
I kind of might like that one.
I'll reenact. I'll get out of the shower nude
Okay.
and reenact the Titanic scene because they're in the water.
Do I have to draw you?
Yeah, you can draw me.
This is so fun.
Yeah, if I lose, you can draw me naked. When you lose,
What do I have to? When I lose?
I kind of still want you to draw me naked. I kind of want a picture.
Okay, that can be both.
I'm a winner. Either way.
Either way, I win.
All right. So that's that. Look, if you're interested in sponsorship for either the podcasts, like all the episodes, these are freebies, freebie episodes. We've got a subscription base for those that don't know. We hope that you subscribe. You get all the unlocked episodes. There's hundreds and hundreds of unlocked episodes that you can go back and listen to. They still make sense. And then there's going to be future episodes. And, sometimes we give you 5 episodes a week if we get a sub extra. It's only $4.99 a month. Keeps the lights on. Help us out,
You can listen to this one for free and then learn to love the others and subscribe for the others. And then you can learn all about Jason Bailey's college rules.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that interests you. Yeah. TheBaileyShow.com. But if you do want to sponsor, so the podcast is all the episodes. And you get mentioned at the beginning. You get a read, is what we call them, like at the beginning of this episode. And now there's a condensed version of the BS, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on WJRR in Orlando, Florida, and also Planet Radio in Jacksonville. We just debuted in Jacksonville this past Saturday, and there's other markets to come.
Woo.
There's an opportunity for you to have your brand mentioned on these radio stations. So if that's something that interests you, let's have a conversation. We have Podcast and Pours 3 coming up, thanks to Inspect All Pest Services and in Alternate Power Solutions, our sponsors for Podcast and Pours 3. That's at Tannery Row, Beaufort, Georgia, Saturday, October 12th, with Distinct Grace headlining, doing an awesome 2-hour set. We'll do a live podcast up there. We got drinks, we got food, we got prizes, we got special guests. It's going to be a blast. And then Saturday, December 14th, we have Podcast and Pours 4 in Orlando at Elixir downtown off Washington with the band Saliva. Headlining, doing a special. They don't normally do this. This is a very rare opportunity to see the band Saliva do an acoustic set. Or a full set, but it's all acoustic. And Distinct Grace will open for them doing the same thing. Live podcast, all stuff. If you'd like to be a sponsor of that, let's have a conversation. There's so many opportunities for you guys to get your brand out there. And like we just went through this crazy storm. And at the beginning of this episode, I'm sitting here and I'm reading all these different sponsors like JHM Land Solutions, with the tree stuff, Jayco Contracting with the roof stuff, Alternate Power Solutions with the generator stuff, FBC Insurance with the insurance stuff. I mean, all things that, and that's just a couple of our great sponsors. Like, people that are listening need you guys, the sponsors. So if you're a person that just needs to get the word out in an inexpensive way, reach out to me. So I mean, this is how this system works, and we all kind of take care of each other. On social media, give us a like, share, follow, at Listen to the BS, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll get one out here soon. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like to get those numbers up as well. And subscribe. If you already are a subscriber, have someone else subscribe, share our content, and you can get all that information on thebaileyshow.com. All right, there we go. Big sell. All right, you got anything before we get out?
I feel like we need a Jason Bailey shotgun video.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be in another day.
An instructional tutorial.
No, because I don't want to come across as like the shotgun guy, because I'm not. I haven't shotgunned a beer in decades.
Break the tank.
I'm just telling you, I don't think they were doing it right. And you're asking me, and you're going, well, you haven't explained how they were doing it. I'm doing that on purpose because I want you to listen to the Tuesday's released episode of the BS. It's called a tease, ladies and gentlemen. All right. As always, we appreciate the support. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Honey, I Raised the Kids. Have yourself a great, safe rest of your day. Until next time, talk to you then. Bye.
I realize not everyone feels this way, and if you are okay with this stage of your life, honestly, more power to you.
Thanks for listening. Get more information and episodes on thebaileyshow.com.
Honey, I raised the kids.
Subscribe at thebaileyshow.com. Yeah, baby.